Kiss
Can you
my
kiss your
son.
tie? On tie to me?
Kiss my son. Jaden, come on.
Everybody's seen the posts. Everybody's heard the whispers. And somehow one Hollywood scandal has turned into a giant rumor machine that keeps pulling in new names like it's collecting them. Will Smith, Diddy, Brisher Gray, August Alsina, even 50 Cent. It sounds like one big, secret story. But here's the problem. Most people sharing it can't tell you what's confirmed, what's assumed, and what's straight-up internet fan fiction. So let's do this the right way. We're gonna walk the timeline, piece by piece, and separate what's actually reportable from what's just viral noise. Because once you see how this spreads, you'll never hear celebrity tea the same way again. And the wild part is, one of the biggest names in the world already responded directly. We'll get to that.
A whole lot of strength. He's surrounded by a whole lot of love, and all he has to do is add discipline.
This new wave didn't start out of nowhere. It surged because the Diddy story became a headline magnet, and Netflix jumped into the conversation with a docuseries called Sean Combs, The Reckoning. The project is tied to executive producer Curtis 50 Cent Jackson, and it's been described as an examination of Combs' rise and the darker allegations surrounding him. And once that kind of documentary hits, the internet does what it always does. It turns one story into 1,000 stories. Some grounded, some exaggerated, some completely invented. But they all get shared the same way with the same confidence, like it's all equally true. That's how the rumor machine works. One real headline becomes a giant connect-the-dots game. But here's the twist. When that happens, the loudest claims aren't always the strongest claims. They're just the most emotional. And that's where Will Smith gets pulled in. Will Smith doesn't usually jump into internet rumors. He's not the type to sit there arguing with every comment section. But the speculation got so loud that he addressed it publicly on stage, and the message was blunt. He said he has nothing to do with Combs, and he called the rumors false. That was widely reported, including by Entertainment Weekly. And that one moment matters more than people realize, because it exposes the tension in this whole situation. On one side, you've got a very real scandal that's been covered for months. On the other side, you've got a swarm of viral claims that try to glue every famous person to it, whether they belong there or not. So when Will says, "Stop attaching me to this," he's not just defending his name. He's pushing back against the internet's favorite hobby, treating suspicion like proof. Now the question becomes, why are people so determined to connect him anyway? That's where the mentorship storyline comes in, and you need to hear how that narrative is built. Here's what a lot of channels do, and I'm saying this respectfully because it's everywhere. They take a real concept like mentorship in Hollywood and then they wrap it in mystery. They use phrases like, "It's said that," or "people claim," and they stack those claims on top of each other until it sounds like a documented conspiracy. But notice what's usually missing. No court document on screen. No official report. No credible confirmation. Just a chain of "somebody said," turning into "everybody knows." That doesn't mean nothing bad ever happens in the industry. It means you cannot treat rumor like evidence, especially when you're naming real people. And it gets messier when the story pulls in someone who's had public struggles, because then people start narrating their life like it's a movie plot. That's exactly what happens with Brisher Gray. And once his name enters the chat, the internet starts filling in blanks that may not belong together. Brisher Y. Gray is known for empire. He also has had public legal issues in recent years, including assault/battery reporting and follow-up reporting that at least one charge was dismissed. And when the internet sees that, it doesn't just report it. It rewrites it. It turns a legal headline into a character arc. Downfall? Blacklisted. They got him. They ruined him. And that's the danger zone. Because once you start telling someone's life like it's a conspiracy thriller, you stop looking for facts. And you start looking for villains. So now any old clip, any old rumor, any random blog post, it all gets recycled as context. But if we're being honest, the public record tells you some things. And the viral rumor machine adds a lot more things that aren't proven. And the reason this keeps circulating is because the internet loves a storyline that feels forbidden. Which is why people keep bringing up August Alsina, because that part of the Smith story is public. Back in 2020, Jada Pinkett Smith spoke openly on Red Table Talk about a relationship she described as an entanglement with August Alsina during a period when she and Will Smith were separated. Major outlets covered it, and the Smiths discussed it publicly. Now, here's what the internet did with that. It took one complicated, very public relationship situation and used it as a license to believe anything else. People started treating it like proof of bigger claims, even when there's no verified bridge between them. That's how rumor logic works. If this happened, then that must be true too. But real life doesn't work like that. A public relationship controversy doesn't automatically validate unrelated accusations floating around online. And if you're building a long video, that's where you have to be careful, because viewers can feel the difference between we're discussing what's known and we're building a fantasy. Now here's where it gets even more interesting. Separate from all that, there were also other allegations that made headlines, and Will's side flat out denied them. In late 2023, an allegation involving Will Smith and actor Dwayne Martin spread widely online, and Will Smith's representative denied it as unequivocally false, according to the Los Angeles Times. Fast forward, and more recent reporting says Jada Pinkett Smith has faced a lawsuit filed by Will Smith's former assistant/friend, with outlets describing claims of intimidation and a campaign to silence. Now pause right there, because this is where audiences get confused. They see lawsuit, they see allegations, and they assume everything in the rumor universe is now validated. But lawsuits and allegations still require proof. And separate claims do not automatically prove a larger viral narrative. So if you're watching this and thinking, okay, so what do we actually know? Here's the clean answer. We know there are verified reports about Diddy's legal scandal and the Netflix doc. We know Will publicly denied being connected to Combs-related rumors. We know certain other claims about Will were denied by his camp. And we know the internet keeps trying to stitch everything together anyway. Which brings us to the real question. Why do these mega rumors spread so fast? And why do people want them to be true? Because the internet doesn't just want news. It wants a villain. It wants a secret. It wants a hidden door that they don't want you to open. And the easiest way to create that feeling is to take one real scandal and attach as many famous names as possible. It turns complicated legal reality into a simple story. Good guys, bad guys, victims, masterminds. But here's what that kind of storytelling does. It can destroy reputations without proof. It can drown out real victims by flooding the space with noise. And it can make people numb, so when something truly confirmed happens, nobody believes anything anymore. So if you're watching celebrity stories right now, here's the best filter you can use. If a video can't show you credible sourcing, it's not exposing, it's guessing. And the scariest part? This rumor machine doesn't slow down. It just looks for the next headline and the next famous person to pull into the storm. So now I want to ask you, do you think the internet is getting better at separating facts from speculation? Or are we officially in the era where viral claims are treated like truth? Subscribe for more.